Hey guys, this is Royal Syrup Gamer. I'm starting my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild stream here, and I've just gone through the first video sequence, and I'm going to start the game here. So hopefully this is going to go well. This is my first time streaming a game, so Link basically just woke up out of this chamber, and this is basically the beginning of the game. You go over here and you get this little iPad looking thing, which is kind of different for the Zelda series. This is called the Sheikah Slate.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
So I'm going to be doing these Breath of the Wild games here. I'm going to do some shrines. I'm going to try to do 4 per day, but who knows, how many I'll get through. I want to try to make it, like an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But about an hour per day, and then I'll be posting cuts of the videos. Every day after I get done, I'm going to cut the videos into 4 episodes, and then I'll post the episodes individually, maybe 1 or 2 at a time. So anyway, the Sheikah Slate, now that you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it shows you the temperature around you, how loud you're being, which is a little purple waves, and then your map icon. And just like most Zelda games, there's plenty of treasure. Of course, this is kind of a tutorial part of the game, but so there's the map. This is where I am, and then this is the whole map, in case you haven't seen any streams before. It's a pretty large game. I have another account on my... I'm going to put on these clothes here. I have another account on my Switch, and that account, I have about 93 shrines uncovered, all the maps uncovered. But I want to start over. I just went back into the first room here. So I want to start over, and a lot of people don't know where a lot of the shrines are, or they just need to, see how to get in the shrines, because some of the shrines are secret. I think there are about 40 hidden shrines. Here we go. 40 hidden shrines in the game. So I'm going to start off with the easiest shrines here, trying to get through the Great Plateau in about an hour. I'm not trying to speed run or anything. I just want to play and show you guys some of the stuff. Basically, the Sheikah Slate allows you to get runes, and you'll see those runes later in the game, in this stream today. And a lot of those runes allow you to do cool things like have unlimited bombs, or freeze water cubes so that you can walk across water. So it's pretty cool. One thing I'll probably be doing is cutting a lot of the story out of my actual videos. I know Nintendo doesn't love when people post story content online, so I'll probably be cutting a lot of that out. Another thing about this Zelda game is that there's a stamina meter, so there's only so much you can do before Link gets tired. Same thing with climbing. Whenever he climbs rocks or surfaces, he runs out of stamina, and if he runs out, he just slips and falls. So this is what all the stuff in the trailer. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, or if you have seen them, this is the big shot from the trailer, so it's pretty cool. I have a few pictures saved to my Switch. It's really easy to save pictures, but I have a few pictures saved that are cool panoramas or cool shots from tops of mountains, and it's pretty expansive. And to walk all the way across this just takes a long time. So one thing I realized in this game pretty early on is you got to pick up everything, because you never know when you need something. Like early in the game, it's really important to pick up a lot of these mushrooms because they're pretty much the only thing that you can eat early in the game. They're the only And then tree branches are really your only early weapon. And what's really cool about the weapon system is if you need to change weapons, you just hold right on the D-pad, and then you can just switch between your weapons, which is really cool. Same thing with your shields, but I don't have any shields yet. And bow and arrow when you get bow and arrow. Another thing that I don't utilize a lot, what's over here, another tree branch. It's more mushrooms. It's really important early in the game to have enough health because you only have 3 hearts. Is you can interact with the environment, so like you can push this boulder down there. I don't know if it's going to kill anything, but I just think it's really cool, all the different things you can do with your environment. So you can climb trees and climb pretty much not everything. Stuff inside the shrines, you can't climb those, but other than that, I can pretty much climb everything. So the beginning scene, which I didn't show, is Link waking up from 100 years sleeping, so he doesn't really have any memories. He's pretty much has amnesia. And this is kind of our early game partner, is this old man. He'll help us out. And that's the Temple of Time. If you're familiar with the old Zelda games like Ocarina of Time, that's the Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time. I go in here and get this axe. So a lot of the things you can do in this game involve, like, you can cut down trees if you have an axe. So here I've got an axe, and if I just go to any tree, you can cut down trees, and then they give you firewood, or there's a couple of tasks where you need wood for building something. There you go. Cut down that tree. You can get wood. You can make a campfire if you have flint and something metal, which is cool to sit by at night if you want to go to the morning, or morning if you need to go to night for some kind of quest. I'm not going to be doing many side quests. Pretty much going to focus only on doing the shrines in this game. I have a map from my other account. And I'll go through all those, but these first scenes in the Great Plateau, it's pretty straightforward. I don't really need a map to do that, but I'm swimming out here to the middle of this lake because there's a sword up here that's pretty good for really early in the game, but later in the game, anything under pretty much 15 is unusable. The early game, pretty much anything is good. It's a weird time for her to say that. So she wants us to go there at that point, so I'll go there in a minute. But I really want to get this sword because 6 is how many HP it takes out, and a lot of the early game enemies have 12 HP. So I want to make sure I have decent weapons. There are 8 weapon slots, and once you have 8 slots full, then you have to, if you find another weapon, you have to decide to throw them away or keep them. So sometimes it's you throw your best one away, or sometimes you throw your damaged one away. Also, they break really quickly in this game, your weapons and your shields. So you just have to be really good at managing inventory, managing items, stuff like that. So you can also dash in the water, but it takes out a lot of stamina. So if you run out of stamina, you drown, you lose some HP, or I guess some hearts. Here's your first enemy of the game. That's a bokoblin, and it's pretty easy if you've got a decent weapon. There's another weapon. So these are monster parts. That's a bokoblin horn. you can mix up potions with them, like to make the potions more potent. So sometimes I usually just sell stuff like that for rupees, but sometimes it's really important to have some of those around to make potions, especially when you're going into the Goron area. You need some of those to make fireproof elixirs. Well, it'll help you make better fireproof elixirs. But so down there is a camp, and you can see they have some meat roasting on the fire down there. And so I could go over and push that rock down, which is probably what they want you to do this early in the game. But I'm just going to go in there and fight them because it looks like there are only 2 of them, and I've got a pretty good weapon. I might change to my club here. And you can sneak up as well on the enemies, and then you'll get something called a sneak strike, and it deals a ton of damage. I don't know if it's just a couple more HP damage than normal, or if it's a lot more, but I do know that I do know that it does help quite a bit. So anyway, this area of the game is a great plateau. All of the press heading up to the beginning of the release of the game basically is was all took place in the Great Plateau. So he's got a bow, which is cool. No arrows yet. That's as far as I can tell. So let's go to the other Boko club. And sometimes it's better not to kill enemies, because if you have really good weapons and they have really high HP, you're just going to be wasting a weapon to get something else back. There's arrows. Arrows are kind of rare in this game, which is kind of surprising. You can see that one has a shield. I'm going to shoot him from afar. The Pro controller has a gyroscope in it, so you can really get good precision aiming. Also, if you hit miss there. If you hit them in the head, it'll deal double damage like that. Or, yeah, double damage. It's a critical with the bow. So, get some good stuff early on. Shield. You can shield surf in this game. I usually don't do that, but I'll show you guys later. So, I don't remember a lot of the early game. I haven't played it in a while, so since really the day it came out, the early part of the game. So I think this is the first tower. Just like most of the open world games, there are towers. And when you climb the tower, then it will allow you to open up the map for that area of the game. That activated all the towers and brought them out of the ground. So I can go anywhere in the game and get that tower, and it will give me the map of the area. It does not show you the location of the shrines, however. It just shows you the basic map and some of the landmarks. Not all landmarks, but some of the landmarks. Then you get this weird drop of stuff falls onto your Sheikah slate. I think that's kind of bizarre. It's the way it downloads it is by Liquid, but so it reveals the beginning area of the game. I think old dude shows up here. Maybe not yet. You know, at some point old dude comes to the tower, so.
You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will be set.
So that's basically Ganon, who's more of a guess, spirit form than anything else in this game. He has different forms as well that you fight in all the dungeons. I'll probably fight the dungeons offline so I don't give away a lot of the story for that part of the game.
Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
So anyway, this is the Great Plateau area of the map. And we started over here. I ran over toward the right side. And this is how much the map is uncovered. And that's all we can do right now until we finish the first 3 tasks in the game. And then this is the whole map, so you can see how small the first area was. It said it's between 1% and 3% of the game is in the Great Plateau. So there's an item later that helps you get down. Oh well. Oh, I thought I fell off here. Helps you get down off of these towers a little bit faster, but I don't have that one yet, so I'm just gonna have to walk down the old-fashioned way. There is fall damage in this game as well as if you get hit by a really, well, there you go, fell off there. If you get hit by a really tough enemy and you roll down the mountain or something, you also take rolling damage. So it's really funny. The Great Plateau is very much a basic part of the game. And at the beginning of the game, if you've never played before, it seems very intimidating, but it's actually like very peaceful. There's pretty much really only one thing that is really scary up in this part of the map, and it's one of the mini bosses of the game. So basically what we have to do is go through some shrines. This guy will give us the paraglider, and that way we can sail off the Great Plateau. So, because the plateau is so far up that if we attempted to climb down or drop off the Great Plateau, we would just die from fall damage, basically. So just gotta follow the old dude here. That's a shrine, which is kind of a mini dungeon. Some shrines don't have anything in them. Some of them have fights. Some of them have very difficult puzzles, and some of them have really easy puzzles. So it just depends on what it is. So I think that's all I have to do. I don't think I have to talk to him again. Okay. So first thing we do is go over this way. And this is the Cade Guardian, but the real Guardians will kick your butt. They, even later in the game, they will kill you in one hit. They're devastating. They shoot lasers at you, and they'll shoot through trees and all kinds of stuff. So, but it's good to get the parts off of the ones that don't wake up, like these two. I'll probably go over here and take out this Bokoblin camp. We'll go over to that shrine. It's good to take out camps because a lot of times there's treasure. You don't necessarily know if there's treasure until you get in here. So you see that treasure box over there with the glowing eyes. If I take out every one of the... Oh, let's see if he sees me. Take out everyone in the camp, then you get that treasure box will unlock. Also right there is a pot to cook in, which is really good. So I can make some cooked food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this guy first. Because if you take out the guy on the tower, he has a horn. He will notify everybody else that someone's out there. So you got to take him out really quick. Alright. So Hopefully. Oh, he had the shield. So that makes it a little bit tougher. Gotta get another weapon here. Might as well use one of these tree branches. These guys aren't tough. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Let's kill this guy first. So if you dodge at just the right time, you get to do a flurry rush. And it's really good because they drop their shield. You do that. Finish him off here. So get another shield here. And then I'll see what's in there. Sometimes it's a little disappointing, sometimes it's good stuff. I'm going to mark this with a pot on my map. I really like to mark where you can cook. Cooking definitely is important to me in this game. Some people probably don't think it's very important, but you really can get a lot of stuff you need just from cooking. Make your life a lot easier. So let's see what's in here. That's fine. That's good for this early in the game. So for example, if I want to cook like a mushroom, so these are worth half each, but if I cook them, hold them both in my hand and throw them in the pot, I'll make like a mushroom skewer probably, and it's worth 2, so it doubles what they recover. So a lot of people don't want to just recover a half at a time. They want to recover, more. And that one just happened to get a 5. Sometimes it's random. You might be able to cook 2 things the exact same way and get a better result out of one for whatever reason. So the reason we need the paraglider from the old man is because if we try to climb down off of this, we would eventually just fall and then we'd die. So I'm on the Great Plateau, and then this is the area right off the Great Plateau. You can see on my map I'm right next to that central high roll, this part of the map. So you definitely don't want to go down there until you're a little more powered up. I know some speedrunners have done it so far, but I don't really want to risk that right now. I'd rather just go through, and the idea of these streams are to go through and do as many shrines as I can figure out. So I'll swim across here and we'll do that shrine first. I haven't found a way to dive yet in this game, which is one thing Link has been able to do in other games. I think there's like a Zora scale and the Ocarina of Time that allows you to dive, but I have not found anything. And Link is definitely not a great swimmer either. You do get some armor later in the game that will allow you to swim a little bit faster, but so rubies, you can use them much later in the game to improve your armor, but basically they're just good to sell. I need one of these fish for a recipe later, so I'll just shoot it with the bow and then go over there and get it. You see those metal chests? I'll get 2 of them just in case. That metal stuff underground or underwater. It's important to notice anytime you go to a pool of water, small pool of water, a lot of times there are chests under there, and if you have one of the ruins, which we don't have any yet, you can actually get them out from underwater, and after I do the first shrine, you'll be able to see that. So I'm heading down into this shrine right now. So this is the Magnesis trial. So the first few, maybe 3 or 4, I think it's just 3, you get a rune when you enter, and the runes do different things. So this first trial is the Magnesis trial, and basically it gives you one of the runes. And you go in, and then all the puzzles revolve around the runes. Pretty much all the puzzle trials, they give you a little bit of a hint in the name of the trial. So like Magnesis, it says manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. So I'll show you what that means in a minute. If you hold the L button, you can actually pick up metal objects like this and then drop them, which is what they want you to do here. I don't know if I need one of these later, so I'm going to actually, can I pick it up? Yeah. I'm actually going to throw it over here just in case I need it later. I don't know if I needed to do that on purpose. I didn't. So, anyway, like here, Magnesis, we need to slide this block out. And I imagine we're going to need to climb on it to get through. Or, yes, you can use it to blow open holes. What's also really cool about these Magnesis blocks, if I can get through here, you can use them as weapons. So like that's a small guardian, and you can actually like hit it with the box, because they're kind of tough early game enemies, and you can use it as a shield. So you can see I'm damaging it using this box, which is pretty funny. There's a lot of different ways to go about doing things in this game. Like someone else can just go in there and blast that thing with the sword or something like that a couple times and do the same thing that I did, or do something other than what I did. So there are a lot of different ways to do things in this game. So let's see. We need to bring that other one. Oh, I don't need the other one. I can just use this one. Alright. So most shrines, most puzzle shrines at least. Oh, well that was not what I wanted to do. Let's try that again. Here we go. Most puzzle shrines have at least one treasure chest in it. Sometimes they're magnetic and sometimes they aren't. Since this is a Magnesis trial, of course this one's magnetic. So you can use Magnesis, drag the treasure chest back towards you, and then open it. Some are just wooden, so you can't always use Magnesis. So that's a better bow than what I have right now. These are also metal doors, so you can open them. And that's the Magnesis trial. It's a pretty easy trial. That first shrine's really easy. First few shrines are pretty easy, actually. So. Most of the loading times in this game are pretty good. The only times that loading times are bad usually are when you later in the game you learn how to warp, and when you warp sometimes loading times can be a little high, but once you load there's no loading times between map sections or anything, so it's just, unless you're warping around a lot, it's not that bad. Here's old dude again, this fancy ass paraglider. So those spirit orbs are basically, you get 4 of them, and then you can either increase your heart containers or you can increase your stamina for climbing and swimming and running and stuff. So. Might take this time to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe to me, follow me on Twitter, or subscribe on YouTube. at Royal Syrup Gamer. Really appreciate it, especially on YouTube, if you would subscribe if you haven't yet, so that I can get a custom URL. I really appreciate that. You can just, right now, as I stream, I don't have anywhere to click yet, but you can search Royal Syrup Gamer. You're probably watching this right now on my YouTube stream, and you can just please click subscribe. So I got to go back up to the top of the plateau, which is really a pain in the butt. Later you can warp up there, but not yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get these treasure chests out. Now that I have magnesis, I can get these treasure chests out from underwater. Also early in the game there are these, well, any time in the game there are these metal boxes, but I only do this early in the game. If you drop them from a really tall height, sometimes they explode and there can be stuff inside of them. So like there are arrows inside of that one. Arrows are always good to get. Like people sometimes, I've seen people complain like, oh, it's just more arrows, but arrows are expensive in this game, and the only way you can get them is by either finding them in chests, or you can get up to 5 from an enemy if there's an enemy that has them. So like I think it's really important. Like they don't have food in it, which is kind of bizarre, but like there are Bokoblin and Moblin camps and Lizalfos camps that have these chests, or these crates, these metal crates, and that's like where you'll find your first rupees in the game. So I think it's pretty important to bust them open early on.